Michael Bublé is officially going country. The season 28 voice coach stopped by for a brief conversation with Callie Kels during the December 4 episode of the Not Gonna Lie with Callie Kels podcast, and in a stunning revelation, Bublé revealed he has been working on a country record in secret after years of mastering jazz and traditional pop. Bublé began, "I'm not even sure if I'm supposed to talk about this. I have a lifelong affection for country music, and I still do. I had a producer named Dan Huff. I traveled to Nashville, and I wrote a love letter to country music. It's old school, it's not like modern, it's my interpretation," he kept saying. "In terms of music, I have never had a finer experience. I am so thrilled to release this record. I don't care if 10 people enjoy it or not." As an artist, Bublé disclosed that country music has always affected him. He notably mentioned his connections with other voice coaches as a factor in his success. The Canadian crooner praised Blake Shelton, Reba McEntire, and Kelsey Ballerini for their leadership. "I feel like I've earned the right to make a beautiful record," he stated. Fans can tell that Bublé is really proud of what he has done in the studio so far, even though the record isn't finished yet. Bublé admitted, "I haven't even finished it, so it's not even ready. But this one is really significant to me, I'm telling you. It's really lovely." Kels then requested more information, such as the precise release date of the record. Bublé teased her, as well as fans worldwide, with what he knew about his future album, even though he was unable to provide a specific date. He remarked, "I just know that it's so good." The season 28 artists are competing for those crucial positions in the live finals with only a few shows remaining. If you believe that Michael Bublé's career had reached its last, gilded chapter with a series of velvet-smooth pop jazz, crooner-era ballads, and seasonal classics, you were mistaken. Bublé secretly released a surprise country album that substitutes steel guitars for brass bands and satin jackets for denim, a move that has already the internet buzzing and a few Nashville producers talking. The result is an album that sounds like late-night radio riding shotgun down a back road. It's a pivot that's equal parts audacious and inevitable. The world-traveling crooner meets the small-town heartland. The unexpected way it landed billboards, long-teased singles, and weeks of proactive public relations were all absent. Bublé's label announced Old Souls and New Roads, a 12-track album with a strong emphasis on rural storytelling, around 6:00 a.m. local time on a Tuesday, along with a brief, handwritten statement and a simple video of the singer wearing jeans, flannel, and the slant of a sunlight porch behind him. Social media platforms were inundated with fan reactions and music snippets within hours. Many compared it to witnessing an old buddy choose to embark on a new adventure, one that is more subdued and honest. "I've always loved songs that tell the truth," Bublé says in the video, sporting the same cheeky grin he has shown off on red carpets. "When I wasn't looking, these tunes came to me. This isn't a gimmick. It's a straightforward statement that breaks through the extravaganza." This performer has fallen deeply in love with a genre of music that values story, texture, and the slow burn of real-life experience. Why now, and why country? Followers of Bublé's career were aware that he was open to other genres. From the Sinatra-inspired lyrics to the sporadic bluesy slide, he has shown off his influences. However, in interviews and lyrics, he argues that the answer is about people and proximity. Bublé accepted an opportunity to create and record in Nashville a few months back while seeking a creative reset. What started off as a week-long vacation evolved into months of meetings, seedling partnerships, and evenings spent in listening rooms where the focus was on narratives rather than spectacle. "I sat in a room with a guitar, coffee stains, and writers who spoke in metaphors about backdoor love and porch lights." Bublé describes a scene. "I was powerless to stop myself." He attributes his awakening to the music's undervalued diversity, which allows it to be both memoir-like and cinematic. "I've always wanted to sing about the kinds of stories that country music tells, but from a different place at the table." The sound, the actual function of the album, you'll be pleasantly surprised if you imagine Bublé exchanging velvet for twang and orchestras for banjos. Old Souls and New Roads is neither a light pop record masquerading as country music nor a true Nashville record. The production favors live takes and little harsh processing, allowing Bublé's voice to soften and roughen where necessary. Warm steel guitars and harmonicas sit next to upright bass and horn arrangements, creating a thoughtful blend. Intimate arrangements are made on purpose. Bublé's baritone leans more toward narration than crooning on songs like Porchlight Promise, where a slide guitar reverberates beneath a smoky piano. You may sing along on a road trip or slow dance to the surprisingly anthemic chorus of Two Lanes Home, which picks up rhythm with a mandolin and shuffling drum. One particularly noteworthy song is Letters in the Wind, which begins with a lone acoustic guitar and develops into a full band confession with harmony vocals reminiscent of the heyday of country pop duets. His jazz roots aren't completely abandoned in the record. There are times when the chorus is emphasized by brass swells, when a walking bass line implies a smoky club instead of a honky-tonk, and when the phrasing is distinctly Bublé's. That delicate timing and light-hearted inflection that made him a contemporary torch singer. Overall, though, the narration is clearer and the color scheme is earthier. Nashville gives its blessing to partnerships and visitors. Bublé wasn't the only one to enter the genre. He worked with well-known producers and songwriters in Nashville for months, including both those who pushed the boundaries of the genre and those who flew the traditionalist flag. A raw, harmony-laced duet with Casey Musgraves on Homeward Heart, a gut-punch co-write with Chris Stapleton on Whiskey and Wishes, and a sparkling, nearly cinematic turnaround with Dolly Parton on the album's closing track, Old Souls and New Roads, Reprise, are just a few of the album's thoughtful and genuine guest appearances. These collaborations feel like artistic handshakes across genres, with each partner contributing a thread of authenticity to the song. They are not stunt casting. Bublé's selection of producers also conveys a narrative. He collaborated with a variety of pop-oriented producers and Nashville session veterans who knew how to frame his vocals without making it sound flat. The outcome is a record that incorporates Bublé's phrasing and pop sensibilities while honoring country traditions like pedal steel, hand-picked acoustic, and harmony-heavy choruses. Themes. The subjects of his songs, the album is rooted in narrative, in keeping with the country heritage. Numerous songs discuss home, not the idealized version but the real one. Disputes at the kitchen table, second chance romance, the pain of leaving, and the gradual restoration of trust. A lyrical pattern of balancing past and present decisions is also present, along with a thread of midlife reflection, with each stanza representing a location where a significant event occurred. Road to the River reads like a map of recollections. Green Light, Green Fields is a more intimate song about fatherhood and the little things that have the most significance. However, a cunning sense of play is also present. Songs like Cadillac and Coffee a bit self-aware, a little joyful, wink at Americana cliches. Bublé is renowned for his charm and smile. It's striking a balance between his trademark theatrical ease and the earnestness of country music. Early reactions from fans and critics. The initial responses have been the joyful type of responses that are saved for nice surprises. The album's honesty and willingness to take chances without feeling ashamed are praised by critics. Some describe it as Bublé's most human work to date, with no commercial safety net or holiday gloss, while some purists object to an outsider entering their sphere of influence. Even naysayers acknowledge, however, that the record cannot be written off as a novelty because it is well-crafted, collaborative, and most importantly, performed with respect. There is a happy division among the fans. Others are eager to see Bublé perform on intimate stages, where the microphone and the narrative are more important than the spectacle. Longtime fans who first heard Bublé through his standards and holiday songs have embraced the depth and lyricism. An audience eager to see this new side of him may be seen in social media footage of followers joining in at early listening parties. How this plays out on stage, tour schedules and live performances. Recording a country album is one thing, but performing it live is quite another. Bublé has unveiled an intimate tour concept that replaces the typical large-scale spectacle with a rotating group of Nashville musicians and a few unexpected visitors. Anticipate town-by-town performances that combine the sporadic big band flair with the acoustic intimacy of a songwriter circle, his method of fusing two worlds. There are rumors that some of his collaborators will make unexpected cameos on specific occasions. Bublé has also alluded to a few dramatic elements, such as narrative-driven song openings, acoustic storytelling performances, and a conclusion that unites the group in a roots music medley. The new shows look like an intriguing reframing for a performer who has made a living on stage presence. Less glamour, more gritty. The cultural importance of this change beneath the surface, there's a larger discussion about what it means for a multi-genre musician to switch between them with ease. Pop and country have long flirted. Bublé's shift is just one example of this continuing musical dialogue. However, his action is noteworthy because he treats the nation with respect rather than aggression. He lets the genre transform him instead of forcing his identity into it. Cross-pollination like that is advantageous to both parties. Bublé acquires a palette of stories and textures that provide variety to his career, while country music obtains new listeners and a fresh voice timbre. More significantly, the album serves as a reminder that musical identities may be flexible, and that musicians can develop new styles without losing the qualities that first made them appealing. Last words. A singer's reimagining of old souls and new roads is a purposeful remake that feels honest and, at times, courageously vulnerable, rather than merely a career diversion. Familiar voices, unexpected admissions, and a general warmth that endures after the lights are turned on make it feel like a late-night discussion you don't want to end. The CD invites you to pay great attention, regardless of whether you're a new listener discovering a song in a Nashville pub or a long-standing fan who adores his Christmas songs. These songs are situated in the middle of the world, where jazz-trained phrasing may coexist peacefully with a rasping steel guitar and city lights meet country stars. Although Michael Bublé hasn't permanently switched from his suit to a cowboy hat, he has demonstrated that he can tell a different kind of story, which may ultimately be the strongest argument for following him down this new path.